We're not talking about secrets.
No, we definitely not talking about secrets. Just a little bit.
You can't kiss and
Just a little
tell.
bit. We were actually going to be doing the PR for Lunatera. Supposed to be interviewing Do Kwon.
No.
Yeah.
The day off.
The day of.
I feel like a lot of people go from TradFi into crypto or Web3, and then they like never go back. I don't know if we're all just like addicted to chaos or trauma
Gambling.
or what it is. Gambling.
We're all sick gamblers.
You've reached Toby and Brent. We'll get back to you.
All right, and we're back with another episode to the most awkward start of our podcast history. Toby, who do we have here today?
I think it's going to be an interesting one because you two don't really know each other. But I know you and I know your secrets and I know your secrets.
We're not talking about secrets.
No, we're definitely not talking about secrets. Just a little bit.
You can't kiss and
Just a little
tell.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what your secret is then.
I mean, it's a secret.
Maybe we could talk about your
Brent
secrets.
has a lot of secrets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brent, let's
Yeah,
get into
dark-
your secrets
dark-
tonight.
Dark Brent's
Secrets, yeah.
Brent, tell Dina who you are.
Who is interviewing you here on the podcast?
You're on the spot.
Clearly, it's you.
Okay. I mean, what is this?
Tell me about yourself. Go on.
Well, basically, I mean, unfortunately, or fortunately or unfortunately, I met Toby 2.5 years ago. Now we've started this like company,
Fortunate.
and
That's the right word.
we've been to like to 20 countries together. So in some ways, I feel like Toby's, my business partner, but we've spent a lot of time together. So
like husband
that's
and wife kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Husband and wife. Who's the
It's
wife?
kind of like Mr. and Miss Smith.
I'm the wife.
You're the wife?
Yeah, Toby's the wife.
The pretty one.
Yeah.
The trophy wife.
Yeah, he's the trophy wife. He's tall. It's nice.
Looks good in heels. Go on.
Yeah.
She understands me.
Yeah.
That's why I like her.
No, I get it. Yeah, you guys are both tall. You vape. I get it. Well, now you're me living here. Well, that's something we'll announce later as well. But yeah, I mean, I think at least how we operate, I'm like the less degen Web3 person. I'm more the. I always joke that if Toby and I weren't partners, Toby would be Billy McFarland of Fire Festival.
That's
That's
a
Fire
compliment story.
Festival.
Yes, meaning
Is that a compliment?
a lot of hype, a lot of attention, but then the execution piece could be challenging. So that's why we're good partners. Yes.
Wow, this is a camera
Ooh, burn.
piece.
He's offended his wife. What does the wife have to say?
Yeah, but it's all with love. It's all with love.
Yeah, it was funny because we actually met in Dubai.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So we met in
like
Dubai
an
on
anniversary.
the Palm, not too far away from here, actually,
Yeah.
where we are today. And
Good to hear,
we
though.
went to LSB, which is in the same tower. And that was our bonding moment. That sounded a bit wrong, but you get the idea.
LSB is...
Lockstock
Yeah,
Barrel.
no.
Yeah, I know that is.
But there's a couple different ones.
Grew up here, bro. This is my
Okay,
home.
relax.
Watch out. Don't try teaching me about my place.
And I was at this time at a different fund, and then we parted ways with that fund, and we started TBV.
Is it Tobias and Brent? Or is it
That's
Tobias Bauer? Do
No,
you go with Tobias Bauer?
Some
or do
people
you-
thought that in the beginning also. Yeah.
Brent can still be. His name can be
Yeah.
on the door.
It can be.
I feel privileged to have my name on the door, Toby. Yes.
You're welcome. I help where I
Yeah.
can.
No. TBV, TBE, TBA, TB Group. Yeah.
TBC, TBD.
Yeah. TBD.
TBH, TB, whatever.
Correct. Yes.
They add the main. I mean, but it's funny because you can add all different verticals to it without actually changing the idea
Yeah.
of it.
That's good.
Yeah. So now, as you know, Brent, actually you don't, but like a little bit more. Tell me about yourself.
About me. My name
Who
is
are
Dina.
you, Dina?
I don't even know where to begin. Or
The beginning would be good.
when I was born. No, so for
Elementary
me,
school, social security number. Let's just start there. Yeah.
Social Security. Oh, we don't
I'm
have
kidding.
those here. So I'll give you a fake one. Three,
Are you
four.
Emirati?
No, so you can't. I should be really. I should be. This is what the audience should
For all the
know.
people who hear this, make her an Emirati, please.
Please give me the golden visa passport. There's like such a process. But no, I grew up here. I've been here for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I grew up here, went to school here, left to Germany for university, came back.
Which part of Germany was that actually?
Munich.
You went to Munich to school?
Genau.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
I love how you guys know each other and like you did not know that.
No, I didn't.
I swear I've told him. He's just
I don't know what
probably
you guys talk about.
forgotten.
I think you just talk about vaping and yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wow, because
Yeah.
I went to school in Munich too.
Oh my God. Tell me more.
I mean, it's not exactly Munich. It's a
Where?
little bit outside.
What, Starnberger?
No. Garmisch.
Nice. Don't
You
know
know
that
that?
one. Oh. Where
You
is
lived
it?
in Munich and you don't know about Garmisch?
Garmisch.
Garmisch-Partenkirchen, which is probably one of the most...
Garmisch-Partenkirchen?
Yeah.
Was it?
Garmisch-Partenkirchen.
Was that right? Okay, go on.
Do you speak German? More than genau?
Barely. Not enough to like be throwing things on a podcast.
But the school was in English?
It was in English.
It was in English. Okay, so you went to Germany, you came back here.
Yes, and then I started my career in public relations and communications. So I was working helping startups for a lot of the time, but it was mainly like business development. It's one of those things, and I think everyone can relate. It's like you have a specific job description, but what you do is actually so much more.
Yeah.
So
that's
it was like the
Skynet
bare
too.
minimum. Yeah, I can imagine. So
Yeah.
especially in this industry, right? So there's like you have a title, but it means nothing.
Yeah.
And titles essentially do mean nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was doing a lot of like helping businesses grow strategies, and then worked within agencies, started my career mainly with like tech companies as on a PR side of things, and then tried to do in-house, but that was boring. I shouldn't say that now because I'm now in-house again. But then worked at an agency helping.
Different now.
Different now. It is very different. Yeah, so it's basically just focusing on like communication strategies, building narratives, building out business strategies.
But then how'd you get into Web3? Because like PR, tech, and then you get on the rabbit hole of crypto, which I guess in Dubai is like the natural fit, right? I think Dubai is mainly IG influencers, crypto, right? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, COVID, I guess, was when I started with eToro on the fake investments. I had my fake 100,000. I was like investing it, thinking, oh, I could be rich. And then,
so did all of us during the pandemic. Yes.
yes, I think that's what everyone did.
Yeah.
We were looking for, I think I was my best self during COVID, to be honest. I wouldn't mind another.
Yeah, I wasn't drinking.
Wouldn't mind another lockdown.
Yeah.
I was actually, no,
I
I
was
was
drinking a
drinking.
lot.
No, I was drinking.
okay,
But
yeah.
you know what I did? I had a great routine. I'd wake up, I'd work out,
Yeah.
I would tan for a few hours. I would cook something. I was learning to cook.
Okay.
And then I would spend my evening drinking wine, most likely. And
So
then
where does working come into play during this period of time?
the in-between periods,
The 30 minutes.
they don't need to know. To be fair, the tasks were easy.
That was amazing. I woke up. Yeah.
I woke
Yeah.
up, did my, and then
Yeah.
I'd watch the Marvel movies in chronological order as they should have been watched. That was my COVID story.
Is that a like autistic thing where it's like it has to be in order kind of thing?
Autistic?
Or not autistic? What is it? It's not autistic. What's the OCD?
I wouldn't say OCD.
OCD?
I think
Okay.
it was just a curiosity thing because it's a whole other discussion.
Okay.
But it's basically what you should have watched first because of like the preview or whatever.
Yeah.
In order of
So
it's
you
the whole
can't
thing.
watch
because
things
Captain
like,
Marvel, for
yeah.
example, came out way
Yeah.
later, but then that needed to be watched before.
Got it. You know, my COVID was? It was in a
Yes, let's hear it.
15 square meter apartment in Singapore that I couldn't leave for 6 months.
Sounds terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah, but then you went to Cambodia.
What
Yeah,
is that in
then I-
square footage?
You went from the country with all the
what's-
laws
what's
to the country with
15
no
What's
laws.
meters
square
in
meter in square footage?
Like times 3.
Dude, I don't know, I'm
50?
I'm American to me. I just know square
No.
feet.
There's no way.
No, it was like double the size of the table.
What?
Yeah.
Well, Toby was actually in prison for a period of time. He hasn't mentioned that to our investors, but he had to spend
that makes sense
time
then,
in
the size.
a cell.
No, it was
so
literally
where-
almost like
yeah,
a prison cell.
Yeah.
Was it like just a bedroom?
It was a bedroom, yeah. I had
A very
a
small
single
bedroom.
bed.
No.
Yeah, really.
For how long?
For six months and a half. And I left this place for
No
I
wonder
think
you like to
5
travel.
days. You couldn't
Yeah.
travel.
No, but now I mean, you just
yeah.
want to be anywhere with space.
Yeah, no.
Oh, windows, please, please.
And then I went to Cambodia, was there for 6 months. I came back to Singapore because of a fund license at this time. And then I had to spend 3 weeks in a hotel in Singapore without a window.
What?
Yeah, that was my quarantine.
Wait, in Singapore?
21 days.
Actually, I've heard of this place. What is this hotel? I know someone who stayed and he had to.
It's like
check himself out.
it's a small hostel thing in Chinatown, Singapore. forgot the name. It was like called like Dragon something or like Hotel Red. I don't know, but like it was literally like a
Prison.
The red dragon. Yeah, prison.
The red
it
dragon
didn't have
prison.
a
Yeah.
window.
Dragon
And like
prison
honestly, if
in
you're in a
Toronto.
room for 21 days without a window, you don't know if you're breathing still.
You were. That's so. What, you didn't even open the door outside just to see that it still existed?
No,
Yeah,
you
what
couldn't
about
open
air?
a door. Like you cannot leave the
What,
apartment.
they
Like
locked from outside.
it's not locked from outside, but like there's cameras everywhere, and like the way it works is like 3 times a day you get delivered food, and then they knock at your door,
Oh,
and then they put the food on a chair in front of
it's
your
like
door.
a government
Yeah.
assigned place. That you
Yeah,
had
it
to-
was from the government assigned. So I had to
So
go
prison.
there, and like you could
Yeah,
only
prison.
you could only I mean you couldn't choose to play. I mean I spent $3,000, so it was $1,000 per week, and then they put you in a random assigned
Yeah,
hotel in
but
Singapore.
okay, but we don't want to talk about PTSD from COVID. Okay, I think
Okay,
we
yeah,
can move on
next.
from this subject.
Next.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Swipe. Swipe.
Rejection.
Okay,
Whatever side it is.
let's go back to you.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, my thing is like how you got into.
Yeah.
So you were like on
Crypto.
Toro. You were like, I'm gonna be a crypto millionaire during COVID, and then
Inshallah.
yeah.
God, from your lips to God's ears.
So you did a stint at a different firm.
Yeah, so I started working at an agency, helped grow it, and then after a year, I decided to start my own, which was DVerse, and it is still thriving to this day. Thank you. And it is a go-to-market agency, so it's sort of adapted because obviously we launched in 2021, the start of or end of 2020. Yeah, sorry, end of 2021. So it was like right in the bear market, just before Terra Luna crash. So that was fun. So we started basically doing just because obviously I had partners. So we started developing full go-to-market strategies, which is where everything sort of adapted. So we became more of a go-to-market firm rather than just a PR agency.
Gotcha.
We were very successful with a few projects, and we realized like this is, every now and then we'd find something, a new addition to the formula basically of how to launch a successful project. Obviously there's a lot of external factors that we cannot control, and then we were actually going to be doing the PR for Lunaterra or that ecosystem, and went to Singapore, right, and we were there actually the day that everything happened. I had my interview. I was supposed to be interviewing at Do Kwon.
No.
Yeah.
The day off.
The day of. So I got an email at 4 a.m. from their head of comms basically saying, actually, can we reschedule? And then obviously I have all of these like flagged message, like news articles coming in, and I'm like, whoa.
You're like, this is a dumpster
Reschedule.
fire. This
Like,
is
you
a.
need to cancel.
Oh my god.
No, I was like,
yeah,
no.
cancel everything.
And then I was like, oh, I can help with crisis management if you guys need anything. And I remember, right, because this was a Tuesday. I'll never, because it was a Tuesday. And that was like, my day was planned for that. And then I was like, we're just sitting around and I'm like waiting to get here back. And I'm like, okay, well, what can we, I can't really do anything at the moment because you need to get back to me. And then they're like, oh, we're having an emergency response team meeting. Can you come? This was on Thursday. And I was like, oh, it's a bit too late now. Like, so I went anyway, just to see basically what was going on. It was in a hotel, not in their office, because I think there was some issues like, or protesters or murder, like, murder for hire people looking for him. It was a not for real. Like, this is obviously me exaggerating.
Yeah, but-
Before you start getting all, I wouldn't be surprised myself. And he had just had a baby, and I was like, oh no. I felt so conflicted. I was like, ooh, who do I feel bad for? And then
Do Kwon had a baby. I didn't even know that.
Is it not public knowledge?
I don't know, but I'm also not like.
Oh, fair enough. Well, yeah, he did. He has a child, a couple of years old at this moment, I believe. Anyways, so he had, because our initial interview or whatever was postponed because his his baby was born. And then we went, and then that whole thing happened. And it was basically like they had done everything wrong. And I was like, well, and then this is where I know like this industry is a bit like everyone's just hiring anyone because people don't know what to do in those situations because they're not trained for it, or they're just not experienced in those areas. And I'm like, well, this in the real, like, and it feels like when I say the real world, it is also the real world, but I mean in like the corporate world, this would never happen because a response should obviously be made in the matter of like within an hour.
Yeah, of course.
But they waited, I think, a day before they even any announcement, and it was a bad
good.
situation. Anyway, so then I left Singapore, came back, and I was like, I didn't get
But how was
client.
that meeting? Can you talk about this meeting?
Well, I don't know if I can talk about the meeting. It was just basically explaining. They were
You have to give
explaining
us
what they
something
were
here. You have to
doing.
give us something here. You know?
I know, and I'm trying to think what I can and can't give. I don't think I'm gonna watch this, hopefully, but like, no, it was basically just saying like, so this is basically the way that we've managed it, and what they've done is basically go to the community and say, well, what do you guys think we should do? Which is
That's weird.
probably the only response is, well, kill yourselves, because
Yeah.
you've just made me lose my entire like life's money, and that's what most people lost everything. People lost hundreds of millions. It's crazy, but that's, you know.
And then you still wanted to work in crypto after that.
Yes, but I don't know if I wanted to invest as much.
Yeah.
Working, sure. Invest.
But it was like, at this point in time, it was like done. Like you couldn't help. No one.
At
it was
this
just
point in
like-
time, the thing is, in that situation, the only thing that would have been able, how I would have probably handled it was Do Kwon would have to step down, and I think there was an offer from CZ to take it, and obviously it was a probably really low ball offer, which would have probably saved the reputation anyways and saved the business, but he would have had to fully step down, because at this point, obviously other stories of his past started like creeping up. Obviously this is when everything comes, right? When the ship is sinking, everything else comes in to just help it go down. And that's when people started saying, oh, well, he was associated with this scam and that scam. And then at that point I was just like, well, he should have made a statement, step down, be with his family, whatever.
Right.
You can dress it up how you want. He's leaving. He's no longer in the picture. And then bring someone with a much, at this time, better standing in the industry and a much stronger profile. And then that person taking it over, obviously that would have been adopted into the probably Binance ecosystem somehow. And then that would have saved the ecosystem to an extent, right? Obviously I don't know how everything else, like their token was dead, obviously, because that was just.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Toby didn't know I've had to teach Toby a lot of things since we worked together.
Yeah,
He didn't know what a dumpster fire was. And so I had to explain to him that a dumpster fire is a trash can on wheels that's on fire. And that's a lot of companies in crypto, because it's like hard to explain. It's like how bad it is. It's like, imagine a trash can on fire. That was basically Terra Luna, right? Like that's how I like to describe some of these.
We could have
blow-ups.
slightly put it out. Everything would have been burned, but it would have been about.
You put a couple balls of water on it, but it's still going to be.
Could have been it. It would have the dumpster would have survived. The stuff in it, maybe not.
The metal can of the trash can would have survived, but everything else inside was still.
That's it, pretty much.
Wow. So, okay. So after that, you come back to Dubai, and then you're like, I still love this industry, but I'm not going to put more of my own money in it, but I'm still going to work in it. And then.
Well, yeah, I still do put my own money in it. I'm talking shit, but still.
Yeah. No, what blows my mind about this industry, because when I met Toby is when I got into crypto more. Like, I invested in Bitcoin stuff before I got into the prior fund we were at, and now with our company, but because I was more in the Web2 VC space. But what blows my mind is I feel like a lot of people go from like TradFi into crypto or Web3, and then they like never go back, even with like how like stable like, you know, other companies are, industries are. And it feels like, I don't know if we're all just like addicted to chaos or trauma or what it is, gambling.
We're all sick gamblers.
Yeah, because it's like, because you think at some
Probably.
point you're just like imagine working somewhere like Apple, and it's like Apple just blows up like one day, like out of nowhere. You'd be like, yeah, I don't know if I want to work in like, you know, this industry anymore. But like, we're all just like, yeah, like, you know, screw it, man. Like, let's just keep,
keep losing money. Let's keep throwing money in the trash, setting it on fire, and just let it roll down.
Of a dumpster fire.
This whole thing is. It really is. But I mean, the industry is only as strong as like the community, really. Because the minute if everyone decided tomorrow, like, fuck it, I'm selling everything.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. It's just, if everyone decided I'm going to sell everything, there's nothing left really. Like there's no more demand.
Yeah.
Like the whole, like this is my personal perception, right? This whole industry, every token that exists is just fully valued at whatever the community believes it's valued at because of their investments. If you're investing in something because you believe in the concept or you believe in the infrastructure or whatever they're building, you're investing in someone's vision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it kind of all comes down to perceived value. It's not a real actual value, because in terms of token, you guys invest in a lot of things. So as token investors, utility token investors, have you ever used the token for its utility?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, go on.
Everywhere I go, I buy things with my, bearer chain token, and I buy my things at base.
Bearer chain tokens, first of all. But anyway.
No, of course. No, that's the point. And that's the funny thing, because a lot of my friends outside of my crypto world are like, dude, crypto's a scam. Meme coins are a scam. There's no utility to anything.
By the way.
And it's like, and I'm like, yes, there is a lot of scams in the industry, but the same thing is like, in the Web2 world, it's like art or like trading cards. Me and my friend, when I went back to LA about a month ago, we got into a big argument. This is like after a night of drinking, you come back and you're just like, let's just talk about things that we want to just argue about. We had like a 2-hour heated discussion. He's like, dude, crypto's a scam. And I'm like, yeah, but like, how do you set the value of like a baseball card? I'm like, it's the same shit. Someone put a value on it and says, oh, this is rare and exclusive. And like, this is why it's like worth what it is. And like art, right? Same like thing. And to me, I'm just like, that's basically like a lot of what I think crypto tokens are in like a way. It's
True.
like the utility piece. I think like that will come in the next couple of years, especially us as investors now, because when interest rates change now, it's like you can't just have a bullshit token and be worth $1 billion and like not have like some IP, like a Budgie Penguins, really something that has a brand, right?
But that's what creates the value.
Yeah.
Because we as an audience are like, oh my God, these penguins are so cute.
Yeah. But like that's the utility, right? Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I'm saying that the
but
days
new
of like,
tokens, for example, if someone's launching a game tomorrow,
yeah.
I'm just going to put game because that was like a really big
Do
one.
we just really just want to kill the Web3 gaming industry more? I mean, like let's just put some more.
Not necessarily.
I mean, it's already been killed. Every time Toby sees a gaming project, he's just like, kill me.
It's not that strong of a feeling, but it
gaming
goes
project individual is one thing, but then ecosystem, like if you can really but then also like no one's going to be using this token in the game, like
right.
unless it's like in the game, in-game purchases or whatever, and you're not taking it out. But if someone takes it out, like I don't imagine anyone's going to be really like, oh, let me buy this token, unless it's like, I mean, it depends.
Unless you use it to buy skins and all these type of things.
Well, that's going to be in-game purchases, so it's never coming out. But then,
exactly.
then you'll have to have a lot of actual players, and you have to have a good game. Those are things that
no way.
You think that's an easy obviously.
Yeah.
But I've seen some stuff.
No, that's the thing, because Toby and I have a lot of. That's why we're in like some ways when you have a business partner, it's like a marriage in like some ways, right? Like you have to have like different skill sets. You have to argue well. You have to do all these things. Like people don't talk about this with like companies though, but it's like that's why most startups actually break up because of founder issues, and like with Toby and I, it's like I'm like a big gaming nerd in sports. Toby knows nothing about games, nothing about sports. I'm like, if I was your height, I would be playing college basketball. But I'm like, brother, you need to be playing basketball, something, right? You're so tall. But that's my thing with
stereotyping.
Yeah.
At its finest.
Oh,
go on.
what a beautiful day.
Yeah, actually, where was I going about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes I get on rants and I'm like,
I actually have a question. Because you're a gamer.
Yeah.
Have you ever invested in gaming tokens? If so,
No.
why? Okay, go on. Tell me why not.
You were at IC for gaming tokens.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think as a gamer, and then it's like, I hear Web3 games, it's like, oh, you should play this game because it's Web3 or because it's crypto. And I'm like, no, I want to play the game because I like the game.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Right? Yeah, because it's.
I'll tell you something.
Problem.
Yeah.
I invested in a couple of gaming tokens.
How did they perform?
Not so well, but see, I tell you what
Case in
my
point.
idea was, and I tell you what my mistake was.
Okay. I'm excited.
My idea
Let me
was-
smoke for this.
My idea was effectively like, I understand why games on a blockchain would theoretically make sense.
I agree with that statement.
Okay, we're on board with this. Great.
With the statement,
But
yes.
the challenge is, I had no idea how much effort it is to build a game and launch it. And then like once I started talking to like all the big gaming publishers that then at some point in time got into Web3 or like trying to get into Web3. And then they were like, oh, our budget is $1 billion and we do 15 games a year and one makes it. And then I look it back and be like, this company that was raising $2 million to build out a AAA shooting game, how is that going to work? Right?
Yeah.
How much money? You're a gamer. How much money did it take to make GTA?
Oh my God, billions.
Is it billions?
Right? Over time. I mean, maybe in the beginning, not as much. But
I don't know
they've
factually, but like I don't know like for sure. But I know like
like
easily
GTA
100,
6 is
maybe
like
100
still-
million. Can we
Okay.
Google?
Yeah, can we? Where's our? We need like a live chat GPT. No, but like GTA 6 hasn't even come out yet, and that's been in production.
Okay, but obviously
Yeah.
that's like a
2 billion?
really sophisticated game, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a very sophisticated game.
No, but that's what drove me nuts about when I would go to conferences and see these Web3 games doing AAA games and they raise $5 million.
this is what I'm saying. They're not real triple. You're just title. This is like this is like someone coming in like. It's like the titles, the business titles that people have in the industry. It doesn't mean anything. Like I can launch a game and say this is Dina Tron, and it's a AAA game. I've decided. I've just, that's what I'm calling it. And that's it. And that's what well, that's all you need, isn't it? But
where do I send the money?
That's the problem. That's the problem with it. Like, this is what I'm saying. Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously a challenging industry, but I want to come back to your life.
Oh, goodness. Yay.
So you were at DVerse.
Yes, I'm a co-founder of DVerse, and I'm now currently also the head of marketing at SuiHub MENA, which is basically the SuiHub of the region. And we do acceleration. So we take projects in, we help build their go-to-market strategies. We help them essentially with everything, also from, investment. Some of them will have their investments, and that is part of the program. Obviously, it's what people come in, they want money. And then we help them build their strategies. And now we're focusing on AI, which is just now going to be AI in gaming and this and that. So, I mean, it is a lot. There's so many different areas of this industry. So it's just making it much harder to see like, okay, well, what's actually going to be successful? Because the true value of the blockchain or the true potential for the blockchain is not really being used until we see it in practice. This is why I also believe in Sui. They will be the Apple of Web3.
That was a very nice pitch. I love it.
Now
I have a question. Me as a proud Emirates ID card holder.
Welcome, fellow resident.
Thank
Welcome.
you so much.
So good to have you. Yes.
I know. Where do you think like MENA is heading towards in the space? Like obviously you spend a lot more time here than I did.
Yeah, this is my home.
It's
I'm
your
Egyptian,
home.
so from MENA, North Africa.
You're Egyptian.
I am
Because
Egyptian.
you didn't say that. You said that you've lived here.
I grew up here. Yes, I should say. I should start by. I'm a proud Egyptian. Meshi besha.
Meshi besha.
Alhamdulillah.
Wallah.
Wallah lazim.
Wallahi.
Habibi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I actually think Africa as a region is very under valued at the minute. I think it's such a there's so much potential that's going to be coming out of there overall. So that's not just the North Africa. That's just generally speaking as a continent. And then this region, I guess the Middle East is extremely fast growing because obviously like the way that governments run here is like a decision will be made today and it will be implemented tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no committee that's making decisions, right? It's super quick. And I think in terms of regulations and everything like that, it's gonna be the fastest growing, right? When you look at the UAE alone, you look at Saudi, they're turning over so much faster than I would say probably the US. I've not been there yet, so can't tell. But the US.
You've never been to the US?
No, it's the whole
Didn't miss
process
anything.
on the visa process is like, as an Egyptian, are you like the questions, like, are you a terrorist? Are you involved? Like, there's like 15 pages of that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Trump, if you listen to this,
What are we doing?
Oh,
give her a
Trump,
visa,
please
please.
give me a
Thank you so much.
passport. No, I don't want a passport.
No, you
Or
don't.
paying taxes.
They chase you everywhere.
Yeah. I don't want that stuff. But I need, that's the whole process on its own. But as a region, I think because they're so quick to decision making, they'll be very quick to implement like new regulations and stuff rather than going for ages to discuss and deliberate and then coming up with a decision.
Yeah.
They'll be able to do it within, I would say, probably a week or so. And I think that's why everyone is moving here. Hello, fellow resident. Exhibit A over here.
Thank you so much.
As most companies most Web3 companies have also moved their offices here for the same reason, because it's so much quicker to get your licensing regulations and it's not as intense because obviously if you do something wrong, you'll get caught. This is a place that everything is recorded at the end of the day. Right. As is this conversation. I love
It's also going on YouTube, so yes, it will be.
Well, yeah. Even before they'll know. They know. But yeah, no, I just think it's probably the best region to be for emerging technology in general. Web3 obviously is one of them. So That is my.
So very bullish on the region.
I am. I don't actually. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else in the world and having the same amount of support from the government in building like Web3 technology. They're even investing in it, right? So like this is like they have a very, I guess, like, how do I say this? They have a very strong idea of what they expect this country to be. And they're doing everything in their power, which they have a lot of power to make it happen. And I think if you can see from everything that they've built in terms of like with the ADGM, for example, in Saudi, they're doing it. They have them with VAR, like they're opening like full on like authorities, like regulatory authorities to be able to provide licensing for people to encourage them to come here and build here because they believe in that technology. They believe in they use the blockchain in a lot of things that they do. I think they have AI now writing laws like and regulations for them. So they're not only just that they believe in it, they're actually utilizing them for their purpose.
So if UAE was a token, you would invest in it.
And cut. No joking. I would invest in this region. I would invest in this region. Like in terms of investing in tokens, it's a very different thing. Like at the minute, like I'm just like I've lost a lot on these tokens.
Look, I've lost a lot of money. Okay, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, no. If you think globally, I mean, look, Latin America, very challenging. Gaming, Web3, AI, right? Not really a place. Western Europe, Toby can talk about how much of a dumpster fire Western Europe is. Asia is obviously a hub. US has been a dumpster fire up until Trump, at least regulation, but regulation in the US moves extremely slow because we're a quasi-democracy, but things move very, very slowly. It also take forever. But if you think about like, where do you want to build a company? It's like there's not many places where you get government support, and UAE and Saudi their government's done a very good job of like attracting talent, which is like the hardest thing to like do for any country.
There's a lot of benefits. There is a lot of benefits.
But do you think it's like as someone who hasn't been here his whole life and is not Arabic, who doesn't speak the language, like for example, me just coming in like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like difficult to get started here? Like, is it
not at all?
Is it difficult from a relationship perspective? Because Asia is always like, you have to do a lot of things before you can talk business.
The thing is, the culture, what I love, well, because I'm an Arab, obviously, so it's my culture as well. But the culture here is just very, like, everyone's very family oriented. Everyone is like, it's all love, right? Like everyone's like, Habibi, how are you? So they're all willing to help, obviously. Yeah. It's just, I would say in terms of like things being actioned, it could be a bit slower, like if you're, depending on who you're dealing with. But in terms of relationship building, no, I think everyone's friendly. I think in this industry specifically, like you'll have a lot of support no matter where you go. But it depends, I guess, what you're asking about specifically, because it's quite a broad question.
So, well, I think on that, what is dating like in UAE or Dubai? Because I hear very mixed. We travel a lot.
This is the kiss and tell thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're coming into your life. Go on, tell me more.
No. First of all, I asked a question. I mean, I'm not here to be interviewed. I was asking a question from your experience in Dubai. I heard, we go to a lot of different places, and like there's places that are good to do business, places that have really good food. There's like, right, like every country has its own like pros and cons, right? And like just you being here, Toby's like moving here,
How do I give a professional response? Let me think. Professional response to this question. Let me think. Okay, so.
It's a dumpster fire.
It is a dumpster fire, but let me explain.
Okay.
People come to this country or the city, let's say Dubai. We'll focus on Dubai because where all the toxic people are. So this is like a place where people kind of come to build, and then like they're not from here originally. So people are coming from, let's say, Germany or wherever. Yeah. You would expect they're planning to probably move back eventually. A lot of people that I meet here,
they have like a window of time, 3 years, 5 years.
They're here. I'm here for a few years. Like they'll end up staying for however long. Like I've met, like this girl said, I was just in Dubai for 2 years and I've been here for 15. So like there's people who have that mentality, but I think it's just a very short term mentality. I think there's also a lot of external factors that are coming into play when you're out, relationships, dating. I think it's
So maybe you need to like import a
On the
husband.
spot here.
I know. I'm trying to think. How do I say this? This might end up being cut out, but whatever. So like,
Yeah.
men are trash. Women, there's a lot of like it's too.
Yeah, no,
it's too,
no,
that's
that's
the
the
situation. That's the
I went out-
I went
situation.
out on like Friday night here, and I was blown away. Like, I mean, I was like, where is like the just
But they're also friendly.
normal, like girls just stare at you, and I'm like, okay,
It's
like,
just that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. It's like there's a lot of women of the night, to say,
Yeah.
so to speak.
well, that's what I mean. And then you're like a normal
And then-
person, and you're like, okay, I mean, unless you want to pay money for it, it's a very weird vibe.
Yeah. And then for men, it's also like, because of that option, there's
yeah,
you're like, no one's really looking to, everyone's just looking to have a good time,
yeah.
I guess.
So, well,
I'm here
this
for a
is,
good time, but not for a long time.
That infamous line, yes.
yeah. Well, that's what I told Sky on our team. She lives in Cambodia, and I was like, look, in Cambodia, the dating market's also very, very rough, right? And I was like, I
I
think
don't
you
think
just need
dating
to,
anywhere is great these days. I think because
I would challenge you on that. So I would
Okay.
say,
Oh my
I would
God.
say,
discuss.
there's parts of the world. I mean, like as an example, I've been living in San Diego the last 4 years. San Diego is a incredible place to meet someone. I can tell you dozens of friends. Like there's a joke in San Diego because there's so many. And the US attracts a lot of people because it has like the best weather, right?
Do you have a
beaches.
girlfriend?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But that's where I met I mean, I was in San Diego for like 3 months, and like before I met my previous girlfriend, and like it was dating there is not hard. Let's just say, because everyone goes there. Everyone's very good looking. The weather's good for 12 months.
I
out
have
of
a
the year.
question then. Are you
And so-
asking about dating to settle down or dating to just date?
I was
Because dating to just date, you'll have a lot of fun in this city.
No. But I know people like there's a joke with San Diego that San Diego is where you go to meet your wife or your husband, and then you leave because there's too many attractive people there. Because it's like you don't want to be in a place where everyone has like a six pack and everyone's like very good looking and like LA
Okay, so
or,
there's
or
no
Miami.
trust in these relationships.
Yeah,
that's why you
And so basically you meet someone and then you like leave and you move. So I have friends that they move to Arizona, they move to Oregon, and they move to Texas or other parts. Yeah, I think dating in a lot of parts of the world is challenging, but I think there are places you can live that are, good.
I don't know if Dubai
Toby-
is one of them.
Yeah.
I'll
okay.
tell you that.
So that's the
I don't
long.
know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can I bring this conversation back to
yes, let's do
something
that.
useful?
Yes. He
Not
was
saying it
asking
wasn't
for himself. He was asking. He wants to know
well,
about
it was
dating.
field
You
research.
should.
I
literally, you can
yeah.
literally go out on the weekend and you'll find out. And then you can actually.
Oh, he will. Don't
We
worry.
can prepare a
He
report,
will.
and you can let me
Yeah.
know what your findings were.
Yeah. That'll
We
be
can
the
come back
part-
to know that we're recording
the
and
part-
be like, Brent,
part
tell
two.
us about your
Yeah,
experience.
exactly. We'll have another. We'll regroup in like a few months, and you can let me know.
But before we kind of wrap this up, I would love to get an idea. I mean, we're all going to be at the SUI base camp on Thursday and Friday this week.
Is it Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday?
Well, Friday, Saturday,
Is
whatever.
it? I don't know. May
I think
1st and
I think
2nd.
it's Thursday. I think.
Hold
I
on.
don't
Yeah,
know.
May 1st and 2nd.
Oh, so you
I was
don't
thinking
need
because
So it's
Tokyo.
Thursday and Friday.
Is it? I don't
Yeah.
know days of the week anymore.
But anyway, everybody can look it up when it is. What's going to expect us? What's going
what's
to
going
happen?
to expect us?
Yeah, what's going to happen? What expectations should we have?
English is his like third
English
language.
very
So
best.
Okay.
that's why I'm
English
his
very best.
partner.
What's going to happen? What you can expect is, I guess it's going to be.
Like for anyone who has never been to a SUI base camp, what is going to happen?
Actually, I went to the SUI base camp in Paris, and that was quite an experience. They had like a candy thing. Like they'll always have something that's going to like really like
Makes it interesting.
like makes it fun, but like not just about like the industry and crypto. It's just also bringing you back to things that you like in general life. We actually have an initiative with the American University in Sharjah, and we created this blockathon, a hackathon, right, for people to create projects on the SUI using the SUI technology. And so students are currently now, for over the next few days, they're in this hackathon process of building stuff. Don't know what they're building, but we'll find out on May 2nd. And then we also do have our accelerator program, the SuiHub Accelerator Program, where we have 5 projects that we have selected out of over 630 applicants. And they're essentially going to be doing like a pitch thing for Investor Pitch Day. So we're calling it like the SuiHub Investor Showcase, where they'll showcase what they've been building. And there are some really great projects, some of which have already built in the past. Really strong founders, strong, I guess, promising projects. You guys will see that on May 2nd. They'll have some prominent.
I am so hyped for this event. I cannot wait.
But I know it's going to be fun
That's so
because it's
good.
always
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. No,
And
yes,
Sui's
Soup-based
pumping
chemicals are
right now,
pretty good.
so that helps
Yeah.
as well.
Thank God. Something.
Yeah, for all the dumpster fire tokens we've talked about, Sui's actually doing very well right now.
Sui's not because I'm obviously working with them, but like Sui's one of the very few also that I believe in, just because obviously the founders have such prominent backgrounds coming from like Meta.
Yeah.
And obviously initially there was this whole like Sui versus Aptos thing. I think we
Yeah.
can see who's obviously in the lead.
Oh, shots fired. Aptos catching strays. Well, as we kind of wrap up here, because we went over time, but we really enjoyed talking to you. But I think we like to do these rapid fire questions
Oh no.
to kind of cap it off. Toby, you can start on that.
Okay.
Vodka or tequila?
Tequila.
Why did you drink vodka before?
Because you didn't have tequila like you said you were going to.
This is rapid fire.
He did
This guy.
say tequila.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
sure. And then
Yeah.
he was like, well, there's no tequila, there's vodka. There's vodka peach or vodka lime.
Pets or dogs?
Dogs.
German food or Arabic food?
Arabic food. I'm an Arab.
Bitcoin or ETH?
Bitcoin.
CC or Brian?
Ooh, CZ.
Dubai or Abu Dhabi?
Dubai. Ooh, it depends on what you're asking, but yeah, Dubai.
Beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
Necklace or watch?
What?
There's just a random
Both.
question. Yeah.
No, it's not possible.
Watch.
PR or social media?
For Web3, social media.
Which platform?
Twitter.
It's called X, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. X.
Instagram or X?
But for what purpose?
I mean,
That's
just
not the question.
This is
The question is Instagram or
this is
X.
just rapid. This is rapid fire.
Okay, X.
Toby or Brent?
I mean, I think we know that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, we all know Toby. Yeah, you don't have to say that. It's fine.
I will not.
Sui or Aptos?
Yeah.
Sui. That's also my personal opinion. And I'm sure a lot of people would agree.
UAE or Egypt?
UAE is home for me now.
The pyramids or the things?
What? The Sphinx. They're together. They're basically
No, but
family.
like, what do you like more?
The pyramids.
Okay, fair enough.
Favorite sport?
Paddle at the minute. To play, paddle.
Ooh.
To watch,
Yeah.
questionable. I don't know yet. Paddle. To play.
Favorite ice cream taste?
Lotus.
What the hell
Lotus?
is that?
Lotus.
Okay, that's I've never heard that.
Yes.
Favorite TV show?
Last one.
Oof.
3,
I
2.
can't answer that. There's too many shows in
Oh
my
my
head at the minute.
god, you're indecisive. Okay.
How about what have you currently watched? That's one of your favorite, like White Lotus as an example, or
Oh yeah, White Lotus. Yeah, but I haven't started the last season yet. So don't give me any spoilers.
how big of a rock have you been living under? But okay.
Well, no, I always wait until all episodes are out because I can't handle the
Ooh.
cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And I've already waited so long from the last season.
Yeah.
Which concluded anyway, right? We know who died.
Okay, great. I hope you both got to know each other.
Yes.
I think so.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
for
Dina, thanks for coming on. This was awesome, and we'll get back to you.
Okay.